What is topic number one for Mr. Trump? China. And what is China doing? There he is. What is China doing that he has been warning about? Kid you not, China is selling off some of its U.S. treasuries in order to revive the yuan after its recent devaluation. To Market Watchers Craig Smith and Dave Maney on how this will impact us here. Craig, to you first. Should we be worried? Will it send our interest rates higher?
Well, I don't think so initially. I mean, the Fed is so confused, they don't know what to do right now. But look, it was designed to strengthen the yuan, bring their stock market back. It's done that, up 5.3% last night. And I'm no big apologist for China, Dagan, but think about it. This is what Ben Bernanke did in 2010. He wrote an op-ed about it. He wanted to support the equity markets, so he did QE2, which was $600 billion. The only difference is China is using reserves. We went out and printed the money. So I don't think we can be too abusive to China right at this particular moment because they've restored a lot of faith in the market.
Dave, it's hard to know exactly what China's doing. And based on reports, China sold $106 billion in reserve assets in 2 weeks, including treasuries. And you do see, and maybe this is just optimism showing up in stocks, you see people selling treasuries today because you have the yield on the 10-year has made a huge bounce back. It's trading at roughly almost 2.2% at the moment. Is China some of that?
I don't know, because as you said, Dagan, it's very hard to know what they're doing. As I was kind of trying to parse through what they are doing, it made me think, I'm a motorcyclist. And what you see with inexperienced motorcyclists is sometimes they'll either go too fast and then desperately have a screwy thing when they try to slow down, or hit the gas way too hard and have a problem that way. That's what this reminds me of. You have a government that's not used to the free market system and doesn't have a free market system. They were very good at hitting the gas and having this kind of runaway growth. And now that they've got it, and now that the resources are misallocated across the economy, they're desperately trying to get control of that bike. And it's like a 5-year-old on top of it. They don't know what to do. And so I don't know where they're going to go. I don't think they know where they're going to go. And
Craig, go ahead, Craig.
Well, you know, it's funny, Dagan, I was thinking about it. It seems to be the dragon's tail is wagging the American dog versus the other way around. And I love Dave's analogy about, you know, a motorcyclist being out of control, because everybody can relate to that. But let's keep in mind that the Chinese, and look, I'm no apologist for the Chinese. You know that. They steal intellectual properties. They don't play by the rules. But think about it, Dagan. When times were good, they put money away in reserve. Now times are bad. They're using that money to try and fix their markets. And what's interesting is that we better be careful here. And let me tell you why. Because we have out of control spending in Washington, D.C. We borrowed a lot of money. Now all of a sudden some of those people want little bits and pieces of that money back. And if we're not very careful, we're gonna finally see once and for all what's carrying $18 trillion worth of debt is all about.
Dave, you're going to get final word on this, but I'll tell you, because China is such a big holder of treasuries, based on, it depends on the month, the largest foreign owner or the second largest foreign owner, they won't do enough, they won't do too much selling because it will drive down one of their biggest investments, drive down the value of it.
Yeah, I think that's right. But let's remember, they're the biggest buyer and biggest player in a very, very large and very, very liquid market. So, you know, do I think they'll have an effect? Yes, and you've seen it here and there. Do I think that will put the U.S. economy at risk, or materially see our interest rates hike, or change the patterns of home buyers or something like that? I don't think so. I don't see that.
And by the way, on your motorcycle analogy, the biggest mistake a novice makes is pulling up to a stop sign and dropping the bike on its side, and then they can't get it up because it's too heavy.
Right.
And my neighbor did that, and I laughed at him and pointed and walked away. Gentlemen, thank you. Dave Maney, let's hope China doesn't end up that, you know, a bike flat on its side that nobody can prop up.
Exactly.
Craig Smith,
exactly.
Dave Maney, thank you so much.